Is there anybody there?
Indeed.
That's the sort of introduction, isn't it, for most of the classic seances. Is there anybody there? And of course it is a very important question, because if we are alone in the universe, as Shakespeare said in one of his gloomier moments, the world is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. If it's just us, then of course the temptation is very much for us to assume the place of God. So if there isn't anybody there, if there's nothing else beyond humanity, there is no spiritual reality beyond what we can confect, then there is a real possibility of human beings themselves assuming the place of the divinity. And indeed, because of the scars on the earth, because of the perils which other life forms are experiencing, we can see something of what it means to have a world in which people really do believe there is nothing else beyond their own ambitions and their own thoughts. But of course, religion itself can be. It's not just a question of wanting to say, well, yes, there is another voice, there is a reality beyond, because of course religion itself can be extremely dangerous. Very often, of course, what we call spirituality and prayer, and what we describe as another voice, is actually a projection of some part of ourselves. Part of the rage and the lust for power within is in our own contemporary world being projected, and people are passionate about a divinity which is actually made in their own image. One of the reasons why you can't just reduce IS to a matter of economic hardship or social dislocation, there is a profound theological battle to be fought. IS is really the surreptitious re-emergence of the ego, the projection of our lust for power and our rage into the middle distance and the creation of a God in our own image. That is the classic case of idolatry, which literally means making a God in one's own image. It's something which has happened in all religions throughout the history of religion. It is alive and well now. So we've got a problem here. Either you live in a world where you're not acknowledging the presence of any other spiritual reality beyond our own ambitions and our own limited minds, or perhaps we are using the paraphernalia, the language of religion, to project part of ourselves, and the result is likewise hellish. These are very dangerous themes we're dealing with. This isn't a sort of quiet little walk in the spirituality meadow, where people try and achieve some repose, some warm glow inside. As Graham's book makes it clear in tradition after tradition, and how important it is that with his indefatigable appetite for travel, and there's some really rather nerve-wracking moments in the book where I wondered whether you were going to arrive or get out, more to the point. With that splendid lightness of touch. It's a rattling good read. I read it at one session, one whole gulp. There are comic pictures. I loved the idea of the notice in an Indian tailor's window, which simply read, women have fits upstairs. But I mean, you know, Graham's got an eye for these things, and this is what partly makes it so very enjoyable, but so important